Welcome back. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Once again, we are jumpstarting your business inside of the Positioned to Profit Challenge with yours truly. Y'all, yesterday was a time, okay? Like literally almost 1 a.m. in the morning, hanging out with y'all as part of our Position to Profit experience. My goal is that we can focus on building the pieces that get you paid so that you can stop collecting these unfinished projects. You can work on your good goods from start to finish and work on moving forward with momentum this week, building with purpose, building with me and the other amazing entrepreneurs in our community as part of this experience, right? Because literally the challenge is 7 days, but it's self-paced. So I've been spending the last couple of weeks kind of going through each day, week by week, right? This week we're looking at day number 4, which is all about how you can get building, because my goal is that you get better at building better, right? So we kicked off this week talking about building the plan. And then we worked on building some products and pages, talking about work with me pages. Yesterday we did service packages and sales pages, just really intentionally and strategically looking at different aspects of your business ecosystem and how you can make it better. So for the next 2 days, what I want to do is lean into apps and articles with you, right? So we're going to think about your POV, your point of view, and how you can put more of you, more of your point of view out on these internet streets, okay? So the first thing that I want to do today is just get you thinking about your point of view, your messages, and the different things that you would like to share when it comes to how you think, right? Now, as I talk about your point of view, the one thing that I said to you yesterday, and for the last couple of days, I've been asking you all, what is something that you're focused on selling right now? What is one thing that you're focused on sharing right now? And the idea is that when you think about that one particular thing, it's going to help you to think about the points of view, the messages that you want to share around that thing, okay? So for me, I've been talking to you about, number one, positioning yourself for profit, hence this challenge, right? And as part of it, we've done quite a few things, one of which is pictures to post. Strategically creating these images using AI with your branding that you can integrate into your strategic marketing online, right? And so talking about what it looks like to create content, talking about what it looks like to help you get better at generating revenue, specifically in the digital space, these are the things that I'm focused on around the Position to Profit offer number 1, and quite a few of you guys have joined us as part of Position to Profit, which is pretty awesome, and are still coming on in. And then Print Your Profits, Print Your Profits is what I do in the end of the year. Pictures to post as well, right? So feel free to drop into the chat at least one offer that you're intentionally creating content and conversations around, okay? Because I want you to get that particular offer locked into your mind when we start working on apps and articles today, okay? Now, before I move into today, quick recap from yesterday. I focused on creating a service package specifically around new forms of clarity calls that I've created. And then after our session ended, it was like close to 1 in the morning, I just kept on updating the page, so I kind of wanted to show you the updates that I did. This page is built in Canva, right? And one of the first things that I want to do, and I think it was Coretta who asked me about voice messaging yesterday, right? I use SpeakPipe on all of my websites, and when I'm able to embed SpeakPipe, this is what it looks like. I'm going to take you over to one of my main websites here. And SpeakPipe, for those of you who don't know, is a voice messaging tool, so people can leave you a voice message online, kind of like a voicemail, right? And then you can respond back to them. So even if you don't have like a 1-800 number or customer support, there's a way for you, real people, to communicate back with you without you needing to get on the phone or have somebody do that heavy lifting for you, right? So normally you'll see this gray tab on the site of my website, and then automatically SpeakPipe would come up, right? On this sales page I created in Canva, you cannot embed that SpeakPipe feature. However, there's always a workaround, which is buttons. So I essentially told Canva, what I want you to do is to create a button that sticks at the bottom of the page, and if somebody clicks on it, it takes them to my SpeakPipe page. So even though I can't embed that code, I can use the link and create a sticky button on the page, which is what I did. So just before moving into today's conversation, I did spend a lot of time with you guys on yesterday's replay, and don't worry, the replays are coming. I'll put them inside of Position to Profit so that you can watch all the replays. Okay, I should have the last couple of days replays I should have in that training hub with, I think, by the weekend, so you guys can catch up if you've missed any of the trainings, right? So I updated these images, created a rotation. These are images that AI helped me to customize. And then I updated the sections. I added some new sections as well. One of my favorite things is being able to jump to a particular section on the page so that someone could quickly see something that they are interested in, like how it works, and then it can take them right down to that section. The pricing chart is here as well. I updated my icons. So there was quite a bit. I added testimonials and pictures. There's quite a bit that I added to this page yesterday to enhance it the way that I wanted it to look, right? So I say this because I want you to know that when you do use AI to create apps, to create pages, when you get that initial draft, you can work on it and you can tweak it. And as you saw from yesterday, and I'm going to continue to do that today, once I had that initial draft, I continued working with Canva in combination with ChatGPT to help me optimize and visually improve what I had built. Okay, so just a quick recap. If you did miss our session yesterday, we were working on service packages, and also as a bonus, I shared with you how to create sales pages. That is going to be Position to Profit, right? You're on the challenge page, and then you're going to go to day 4 of the challenge page, okay? And that is underneath prompts. We did the service package builder prompt, number 1, and then I gave y'all an extra prompt yesterday, the sales page prompt, number 2. Friendly reminder, those of you who are loving the challenge, make sure you join the referral program so you can share it with your friends, right? Also, you'll notice you may not use this that much, but there's the toolkit version, which is a clean, simplified version of the challenge content versus the full challenge on the desktop. So I just kind of wanted to point that little feature out here on the top if you've missed it at all. Okay? All right, so let's dive into what I want to focus on with you today, which is ebook, apps, and articles. Let's go back into our presentation. That's the first thing. All right. So we're focused on you working on strategic plans, and one of the things that I love to talk about is building your business with books. And what I talk about when it comes to creating an ebook app is that it is something that it follows my concept of building on what you've already built. So foundationally, you can write an ebook app, right? And then with that app, once it's done and it's written using AI, you could take that same ebook app, put it in a PDF, so there's a traditional PDF, right? The app is on a web page. Then you can then take that same written content, put it in the form of a PDF. You can have people publish that PDF so that then they have a physical copy of the book. And then once that physical copy is done, you can go and turn that book into a series, a podcast, a course, a challenge, and continue building from there. What I find is a lot of people have a lot to teach, they have a lot to share, but it takes them a very long time to put their information out there, especially when it comes to publishing. And so having the ebook app gives you something foundationally that you can build on. Now, for me, ebook apps are like chips. I have way more than than I should. But I think they are great for many reasons. Number one, low ticket or lead magnet offers. And number two, support resources. So when I am creating my pieces of content that I've created to teach you, it's been helpful for me to create these ebook apps so that you can read through them and get the information that I want to give you, right? Both in the form of an audio or a video if I'm doing a training like this, but in ebook format as well. So we're starting with knowledge that you already have so that before you launch a traditional book or even a traditional digital book, you can create a simple asset that's going to help you build your momentum, okay? That's the goal for today. Now, I'm actually going to show you two example ebook apps that I have built, and then what we are going to do is focus on one for you. Now, here's the thing. Those of you who have worked with me before, you can take this opportunity to enhance one that you've already created. Because like I said, once I created my sales page yesterday, I didn't stop at the first version. I kept enhancing it and improving it till I got exactly what I wanted, right? And the same thing goes with your ebooks. So y'all can co-work with me and strategically work on a previous project. Or, remember earlier I said, what is one offer you're trying to put out there? You can work on creating an ebook to support that offer, right? So let's continue diving into this conversation. I'm going to take you back over to these internet streets so that I can share with you a few of my ebook projects. Now, I cannot remember if I put some of them in here, and I feel like I did. See if I can open this new tabby. And there are a few of these, so let me see if I can open. Okay, so I wanted to take 2 seconds and pop a few examples of ebook apps that I've created and put them on the screen. Friendly reminder, if you're just watching, whether it's live or on the replay side, web apps are different from mobile apps. A mobile app you would install like if you went to the Google Store or the Apple App Store and you install it onto your mobile device. Web app is just a link, and then it takes you to that web-based interactive space, but all you need is a link to get there. So a traditional ebook, a PDF, you download it, you open it, you read it. A web app is a page, you get the link, you go there, and you read it, but it usually has a lot more interactivity. So here is one of the ebooks that I worked on, the web app ebooks. It's called Position to Profit. And so it says, you're not positioned to profit if no one can pay you right now. And it talks about some of those missing pieces, right? Confused buyers don't buy, chapter 2. Solutions, convenience, and experiences, chapter 3. And each chapter, honestly, is actually aligned with every day of the challenge. And so one of the things that I talk about is, like I said, you can have the AI help you write your ebook app and use it foundationally as something that you build on into other digital and or physical projects in the future. And you can create something to support your audience, especially if you're building around a particular theme. It can be one of the resources within that. So as part of Position to Profit, there's the main challenge. There's these live trainings that I'm doing. Then there's this guide that I've created. Then there are prompts. So I'm putting together an experience that has different digital pieces included, right? Like I said, for me, ebook apps are chips. This one in particular is focused around me teaching you the fundamentals of what, when I say position to profit, what that means, what you're missing, and what you should be working on, right? Here's another one. It looks very similar because I like to keep my look and feel consistent. It says you're doing too much and making too little. 5 money mistakes keeping smart women busy, broke, and burnt out. One of the things that we talked about was creating lead magnets, right? And so I have an ebook app prompt that helps you to work on creating what I call the 5 mistakes guide. So you can highlight mistakes that your particular target market or target person might be making, offer that as a free resource, and then connect it strategically to a solution or set of solutions that you want to present your target person with, okay? So I'm bringing that up because as we start today's conversation, I want you to think about, are you going to work on an existing offer? Is this going to be a support ebook? Do you want to include it as a freebie or a paid low-ticket offer? Do you want to add it into something to make that something bigger? These are things for you to consider. So the Entrepreneur Next Door, here is another one that I've built. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to share with you as far as these builds are concerned. Number one, I love to have collapsible menus. And as you can see, you can kind of go through the chapters, and as you're going through them, you can see the top, a little tracker going through the multiple sections. Obviously, this is a different experience from just simply reading a static PDF, right? For this one, the Entrepreneur Next Door, I've added a lot of interesting features. So, for example, I wanted to be able to change the font. Subtle, but I didn't want to be able to do that. I wanted to be able to personalize the ebook, right? Hey, welcome, welcome. And when I say, and I'm talking about, these are things that, hey, Tracy, hey, Elizabeth, we're going to talk about interactive ebooks, right? So foundationally, just building out the ebook is where you start. But then you may want to make it even more interactive, right? So for me, I want to show you something. It says, "You're not crazy. LaShonda, that's what I thought." Why? Because I actually created something where I could put the person's name in the book, right? So I just saw Tracy come in. I'm going to grab Tracy's name real quick. I'm going to say Tracy, add that. So I wanted to create an ebook where it kind of felt like I was talking to you as you were reading it, right? I'm just going to read the first couple of sentences. You're not crazy. Oh, excuse me. I said you're not crazy. Oh, wait, let me do another feature. I also wanted it to be where if you wanted to, you could kind of Kindle paper style, remove all distractions and read it clean. If you wanted to build your own ebook, you could. So it's got a lot of interesting features in here, okay? So, all right, so you're not, I keep wanting to put the not in there. So that's my brain locks in. And it doesn't matter what I see, my brain just locks in. Okay. You're crazy. Tracy, that's what I thought. That's what they thought. That's what everybody thought. A few months into my pregnancy, living in New York, rent due, baby on the way, and somehow I decided this was the perfect time to quit my job and become an entrepreneur. Like, what are you doing? This is not the time to be doing this. At least that's what it looked like from the outside. But here's the thing, and I didn't have the words for it back then, but I can tell you now, it didn't feel crazy to me. It felt necessary. And maybe your version of crazy doesn't look like mine, Tracy. Maybe you didn't quit your job. Maybe you're not pregnant. Maybe you're not packing up your life and moving states. But something in you keeps pulling you in this direction. Now, when the person's name is not there, and I can't remember, I'm just updating, right? So it just says, you're crazy, that's what I thought, that's what they thought. So by default, it doesn't show the person's name, but if they did want to just add it, it adds that piece of personalization, right? I also added a few other things to this. Now it says, continue reading this, build your own ebook. It becomes interactive. If you click on continue reading, you actually have to upgrade because each chapter that I've put together in this book, this is called a freemium, okay? Freemium. Why? Because on the surface, it's free. You can actually go to each of the chapters, and to some degree, there's a certain amount that you can read for free. And then if you want to actually continue reading, you have to upgrade for it, right? I'm actually going to show you the full version real quick because it has a lot more interactive pieces. But before we actually set up an ebook app today, because we're going to work on ebook apps over the next 2 days, I want to show you that when I say interactive, there's really, because sometimes people say to me, well, can the AI do this? Can it do that? I said, I'm like, it does what you tell it to, right? It's about you kind of being either creative, or sometimes you may have seen things and go, ooh, I wonder if I can do that because I really like that feature somewhere else. I wonder if I can incorporate that into what I am trying to build, okay? So let me show you the paid version of this because there's only but so much you can read before it's like, okay, you gotta pay to play to read the next chapter, right? But it is very much personalized. I'm going to pause for a second so I can pull up the paid version real quick. And then, like I said, what we're going to do is actually build these together, but I want to show you a few of those interactive pieces before we go there. All right. So one of the things that I have been working on and incorporating this year are build sessions so that I can privately do one-on-one builds with clients to work on their digital products and projects. I've also opened up weekend hours, which is not something that I had before, so that especially for clients who their weekdays are very chaotic, we could sit down for anywhere between 30 minutes to 3 hours and intentionally work. So LaShawn and I, a couple of weeks ago, worked on her ebook app, From Busy to Bankable. And one of the pieces that I love about this is that she said to me, LaShonda, I work with a lot of different types of entrepreneurs, and I don't really know which one I should focus on for this. And so I said, you don't need to pick one. So this particular ebook that we worked on is designed for people in real estate, beauty, service, and general business owners. And when you pick your profession, the recommendations per chapter, so let's go over to, let's say, chapter 4, right? The recommendations, because it's viewing as real estate, adjust based on that person, right? So really, it's about thinking out of the box. It's about being creative, number one. Number two, if I go back to the home page of hers in particular, you'll see it says, are you ready to go deeper? Click here to work with me. Click here if you have any questions. Again, what do you want to have them do? What do you want to create in the ebook itself? Where do you want to send them after the fact? These are all things that you can think about, right? Now, I wanted to show you the Entrepreneur Next Door. Here is the full version. Wait, where's the full version? Okay, I think this is the full version, right? Because obviously the chapters are pretty, actually, my chapters are pretty decent size. Each chapter I have quotes. Entrepreneurship is spending a few years of your life doing what most people won't, so you can spend the rest of your life living how most people can't, right? Truth moment. Personal truth. You're not crazy for wanting more. You're just early in deciding to do something about it, right? So for each chapter, I wanted to have truth moments, and then I did incorporate different things into each of the chapters, right? So this interactive breathe and believe pause moment is actually inspired by one of the lovely ladies in my circle, Yvonne, who specializes in self-care. And you guys are just always, as I'm teaching you, y'all are teaching me, right? I'm not a self-care expert. So when we were working on one of our app projects, she was like, self-care for me, teaching people how to do breathing. She integrated this particular feature, and I thought, wow, this is really a powerful moment to add. So and I mentioned Lavon and spotlighting her when I mentioned this part that I integrated into this ebook, because one of the things that I want you to think about when you're creating these things is it's not just, okay, well, let me make it look like how LaShonda made it look, or I can only put in what LaShonda told me about, right? I love when creatives are creative, right? And think about what else you can infuse into what you are creating. Because one of the things that I mentioned to you before is that people buy three things. They buy solutions, they buy convenience, they buy experience. And if you're going to create an app, and in this case we're spending 2 days talking about ebook apps, make it an experience, right? I have integrated, you know me, I love to create prompts for you guys to use. I've integrated prompts in here. I've integrated an opportunity for them to grab a pen and write something and answer these three questions, right? Why? Because I thought about the fact that not everybody necessarily wants to do prompts and use my, whether it be Claude or Gemini. Not everybody is an AI girly, right? So you could just simply write and respond to these questions. So these are some interactive pieces that are here. I'm going to try. I'm not 100% sure which chapter it is. Okay, there we go. I was like, it's got to be one of these, right? So this is a video. It's actually a music video, Black Sheep, The Choice is Yours. And I love the idea that when you choose entrepreneurship, you are making a choice to take control of your future, right? And your autonomy, and not having it being controlled by others telling you who you have to be and how you run your day, right? And so I've integrated videos here. I also have created ebook apps where I've integrated audios. Like an audiobook, I'll read the whole chapter and you can just press play and hear me talking in each chapter. So I'm sharing these, again, as examples of what you could potentially do, not necessarily out of the gates. When I say out of the gates is I first focus on getting the ebook created, first draft. And then once it's written, I go back and work on improving the chapters, improving the writing, and adding additional features so that it really becomes a premium experience for my audience. As I talk about audio content, let me show you one more example where I have integrated audio, because, again, I want you to see the possibilities before we build the reality. So this is another one of my ebooks. I absolutely love this one for many reasons. Break Up with Broke was something that I shared last year. It was an ebook app that I put together. The next phase for me is publishing the physical version of this, but I'm just going to hit the play button real quick. I'm broke. I've said it, you said it. Most of us have said those words at some point. But at some point, you can't let it get you, define you, or even dictate what you can and cannot do. At some point, I think Coretta had mentioned to me that she was listening to either listening to the I'm Broke series or watching the video I did, because I had done a couple of videos about Break Up with Broke as well. But incorporating audio content, video content, interactive activities, checklists, personalizing it, whether it be a drop-down menu or putting in their name or whatever, right? Putting in links, these are just a few examples of what's possible, right? I love it. Somebody just said, I'm breaking up with Broke. Absolutely, break up with Broke. Okay, so first thing, showing you a few examples of ebook apps that I've created. Number one, for inspiration. And number two, also reminding you that once you build your initial draft, the goal is to get better at building better. You can tweak it and improve that initial version as you go. Number three, you can also work with me. I have quite a few clients who have invested in time so that they can spend 2, 3, 4, 10 plus hours working with me privately on their projects, so you don't have to do it alone and get things done exponentially faster as we tag team your projects together. So with that being said, the next thing that I'm going to do is to actually start the build process with you. We're going to go back over to Position to Profit, and when you click on day number 4, that is where you're going to go to the prompts for day number 4. Click that prompts tab, right? Once you go to day 4, then you're going to look for the ebook starter. Okay, that's the ebook app starter. I'm going to do this in ChatGPT. You can do this in whichever AI you choose, Claude or Gemini. I'm going to build in ChatGPT, okay? Then once I have the ebook app mapped out, it's going to give me instructions, and I will give those instructions to Canva so I can build my ebook app in Canva. Alternatively, you can build it in Lovable, those of you who have Lovable experience, whether it be working with me or beyond, okay? Exactly, right? Exactly. So breaking up with Broke, tired of it. Definitely want to go into a new season. So if you have Position to Profit, awesome. If you don't, you can follow along, number 1, and then sign up to Position to Profit if you'd like to. More than likely, you either got an email, and then from that email, you can click the Position to Profit link to learn more, and or you can email me and say, LaShonda, send me the details. Last but not least, if you're watching the replay, more than likely there's a link somewhere around here that you could click to learn about signing up to the Position to Profit series, option 1. Of course, option 2, join us in the Academy. That's where you really need to be for ongoing support every month that I create new trainings, new resources like Position to Profit. You get access to the month-by-month support. So those are the 2 options, to come here and then utilize the prompts that we are working on today. Okay? So I'm going to do 2 things. First thing is I'm going to copy the prompt and then put it into chat so I can start building. Second thing is I'm going to ask you to think about an offer that you want to create an ebook around, a message or an offer that you want to create an ebook around, okay? Now, you may not have an idea, and that's fine, because what CC can do is CC can help you. She can give you ideas. That's my prompt. But you can think about it from the perspective of what you're working on, or have CC present you with options. So I'm going to go over ChatGPT. Let's do a split screen. Let's do a combination of, where was I? I was on Chrome. Yeah. Let's do a combination of Chrome and ChatGPT. Then I can start a new chat with that prompt. Hit enter. Hey, I'm Cece, your AI-powered clarity coach, created by LaShonda Henry. Let's build your starter ebook app. So before we build, quick check. Where are we starting? I already know my topic. I have a general idea. I'm stuck. Suggest 3 app ideas. I'm not sure what to build. Give me 3 ideas based on my expertise. I'm continuing from a previous session. So, again, you can come into this conversation and out of the gates, jump right into it, or if you need help, it will help. So I already know what I'm going to talk about, but first I'm going to say, I'm not sure, give me 3 ideas, and I'm going to say D, and just out of curiosity, see where it takes me. Okay? Personalizing, focusing on expertise. Now, depending upon how much you talk to your AI, it may present you with options. Perfect. Based on what I know about your work, I'm going to skip generic ideas and focus on ideas that fit your ecosystem for helping women entrepreneurs turn their knowledge into digital products, content, and income with AI. What do you teach, know a lot about, or get asked? I already know you spend a lot of time helping people with AI. For example, you might answer with helping smart people create content without feeling overwhelmed. What's the one area you want this starter ebook to showcase? I don't know. Suggest based on what you know. Offer suggestions. It's going to keep personalizing. I'm just going to keep saying, I don't know. And again, that doesn't necessarily work if you don't talk to your AI platform a lot, okay? You may have to answer a few questions and give it a sense of you if it doesn't already know you, okay? Smart people, okay, so this is the one that, and I love that it brought this up because this is the one that I was leaning towards. Smart people shouldn't have to feel stupid creating content. It gave me this because this is something that I've been thinking about and talking about, which is the inspiration around pictures to post, that a lot of smart entrepreneurs aren't creating content and marketing on social media as much as they should because creating content is hard. It's harder than most people want to admit, especially when it comes to being consistent at that. Or am I crazy? I'm good at graphics and design and all the things, but let's be honest. If that's not really where you want to spend your time creating content for Instagram or TikTok or those other platforms, it's not naturally easy for many, right? So this is a concept that I came up with. So I'm definitely tickled that it put that there. So who it's for, smart entrepreneurs who know their business but freeze when it's time to post. Why creating content feels harder than it should, and how to stop chasing every trend and build a simple system that turns expertise into strategic content. The Entrepreneur Next Door, which is another one that I worked on. I literally just showed you guys that one. Everyday people who think online business success is only for the influencers or tech experts. Pretty prompts are fun. Strategic prompts generate funds, right? I've been telling you guys that all this week, strategically creating images that you can turn into social media posts that get you paid, right? So first thing that I'm doing right now is just kind of showing you the ebook app prompt and just showing you that it helped me to, based on who I am and what I do, come up with some ideas. And it's going to pull from, the first thing it's going to do is pull from your conversations, right? Okay, these are great, but a lot of these are based on obviously our previous conversations and ebooks and things that I've probably alluded to. I want you to just, based on my experience, give me 3 other ones that I've not mentioned or talked about at all, but you think would be a good fit for me. Now, I'm doing this for a very important reason. If your AI does exactly what mine did, which was pretty much pull book ideas that I had previously kind of talked about, you can push back, right? The invisible business. Entrepreneurs who have built a lot behind the scenes but feel like no one knows they exist. Finish what pays. Creative entrepreneurs drowning in unfinished projects. Yeah. Borrow my brain. Solopreneurs who are tired of making every business decision alone. I kind of like that one, borrow my brain. But I think, because I did talk about if you're stuck, pick my brain, or if you're stuck, borrow my brain. But it could be a monetization model as well. Okay. I like these. I'm thinking borrow my brain could be about solopreneurs who are tired of taking every business decision alone or making every business decision alone. But borrow my brain could also be how to get paid by monetizing what you know, and giving some innovative, creative ways to do that. Um, But yeah, that's a side note. I'm not going to go in that direction. I just wanted you to make note of it. And I'll tell you what I want to focus on, which is the smart entrepreneurs who feel stupid creating content. So this is basically giving me a point of reference. Um, So staying in CC mode, I'm going to ask just one question. When someone finishes this book, what is the one sentence you want them to be able to say about themselves that they couldn't honestly say before they read it? That they're not stupid. Like, you know, I hate the word, but then I feel like it's such an important word to use here because we live in a culture where, as entrepreneurs, every day you're bombarded by people telling you it's you. You know, get out of your own way, get out of your head, stop procrastinating. It's you should just go online and post like 50 videos a day. So why aren't you doing that? When there are just so many other hidden reasons why creating content is not as easy as people try to make it out to be. And then you feel like it's you, and you feel you're lost, and you feel like you're stupid and you don't know anything. And that's not the thing. So that's what I want them to feel. So what I am going to do is give it a point of reference, right? Once I get my chapter by chapter breakdown, I'm pausing. And I'm going to get that real quick because I'm not going to go too far with this. If you could expose just one of those hidden reasons first, the one that makes readers immediately think, I've never heard anyone explain, which one would you choose? These are good ones. You got some great ideas. I don't know. You let me know which one. As you guys are watching me, there are basically 2 things I want you to do. Those of you who are in positions to profit, I want you to grab the prompt, copy it, and start it. The easy ebook app prompt. Okay? Grab that prompt, copy it, and start it. Number 1. I spent probably about, 10, 15 minutes showing you different ebooks just so that you can get inspired and understand what we're creating for the next 2 days. And now the goal is to start to brainstorm your ebook, okay? And so I'm going to continue this conversation. What would you want the book to spend? Would you want the book to spend most of its time exposing those hidden reasons, or would you rather pivot fairly quickly into building the reader's own content infrastructure? This is a good question. So here's what I want to do. I maybe want to spend 1 or 2 chapters on the truth, but then move into what that really means for you, and closing the gap if you don't have the resources that these people have that they don't want to mention that help them create content faster. Here are X secrets or hacks to get you where you need to be, sort of a thing. It's going to be connected to Pictures to Post, my resource, so that they can use that. So it's going to be an interesting book, but it'll be relatively short. So my goal with this book is so here's the angle, okay? The angle is I want to write something for entrepreneurs who think that they're not as capable as they should be because it's harder for them, and it seems like it's easier for everybody else to create content on social media. And I'm connecting that book concept to my offer because it's a solution that I want them to be able to see can help you get better at creating content with CC, my clarity coach. So when I say that, I want you to think about, okay, if I'm going to write this ebook, what's the purpose? Do you need it to promote a particular product? Not necessarily, but it does help. Could be that you're the product, right? It could be that you're trying to teach them a process or a part of a process. So one of my clients was publishing a physical book, Dr. Kira, and it was taking a while for that book to come out. And she was like, okay, I'm just trying to figure out, LaShonda, I need you to help me create some digital products and things in the interim. And I said, okay, well, let me read the book. I read the book, and I said, but you have in here something called the DEPART method, D-P-A-R-T. That in and of itself, that method in and of itself can be its own microbook. So it could be that you want to teach a piece of something bigger and then kind of get them into your ecosystem. What exactly are you producing this for? That's what I want you to explore. Okay? So that's the first part of today. If you don't have Position to Profit, you can grab it, then come to day 4 and work on building. We're pretty much all week building different things, whether it be products, pages, plans, promotions, all of it, okay? Now, you can get the gist of this. It's to me, if you don't understand, I'm going to say 2 things. If you use one of my CC prompts and you get to a part in the process and you don't understand something, when you can't ask me, literally just ask CC. I don't understand. Can you explain this? What does that mean? Don't get stuck and then just feel like, well, this ain't working. Ask. And she will respond, right? CC is a girl. So then if it's easier for you to listen than read it, press play, listen to it so that you don't miss things. Because sometimes it's a lot of stuff and you may not see it or really process it because you're skimming through it, but you're not really hearing what CC is saying. Use the audio, right? And she'll talk to you.
I think that's the right decision. And I actually think it makes the book more valuable.
Okay? That's another recommendation I have for you. So I'm going to pause on the book process. I'm going to keep working on it, and then I will build it with you tomorrow because I said I'm going to do this in 2 days, right? But I'm not going to sit here and just talk this out with you unless we get to a point where we pause and everybody's building. If there's enough of y'all building with me real time, I don't mind building with y'all, but I'm not just going to have you sit here and listening to me talk to Cece for an hour. That makes no sense. Okay. If you have any questions about what I've done so far with this prompt, let me know. If you're excited about the idea of working on your first or a new ebook app this week, I'd be curious about that too. So feel free to either drop into the comment box and chat with yours truly, and or unmute yourself if you have a question. Now, there are several key pieces to the projects we're working on this for the next 2 days, because all week, 7 days, we're rocking out. Another part is I'm going to go to J6, which is about promotions. Skip to day 6 real quick. And I'm going to go 6 promos. Okay. So on day 6, there is the point of view article builder. Okay? Point of view article builder. And the goal of this is to help you write articles. Turn what you are promoting into finished articles, especially my Substack girlies, right? This is something that you can take advantage of, okay? So working on an ebook project is something that I want to do with you guys for the next 2 days, but it might not be for everybody. If you find that working on your visibility, you would like to create more article content. Back in the day, what helped me become more visible is my blog, right? And we still write articles. It's just in different ways. The new read culture has become newsletters are coming back. And then we've got platforms like Medium and Substack. Substack, everybody's like obsessed with Substack right now, right? Threads, these are platforms where people are really genuinely reading and consuming the written word. So if you want to focus on working on articles, I have added the point of view article builder in here for you, because the Position to Profit Challenge, I'm telling you, just keeps getting better, okay? A little bit bigger, a little bit better. How do you find the articles builder? Again, day 6, when you click on promotions or promos, it is right here, the point of view article builder, okay? It's actually a part of my Right Now series. Right Now is a collection of prompts that I've created to help you with your copy. Writing articles is a part of that, so it's a taste of Right Now, okay? Anyone interested in either working on some new articles, let me know that, number 1, or working on the ebook app project, okay? I'm not going to go into the article builder just yet, because the last thing that I want to do is focus on images with you, right? I actually I sent out an email reminding everybody about today's training, and let's go take a look at some of the images that I've built with my pictures to post prompts. Let's go to images real quick. And these were some of the images from yesterday, right? This one I really liked from yesterday when we did the breakout year prompts. But the one in particular that I'm leaning towards sharing with you today are these right here. The entrepreneurs who are winning create profitable posts, not just pretty pictures, right? And so we have been working on the authority builder experience. It's a prompt that I've put together for you to create content where you're creating images that showcase your authority. And as part of that, there is the initial starter prompt that literally y'all can unlock for like $1. Inside of Position to Profit, you have the starter level prompts. Then the pro level, it gives you so many different styles to choose from. One of them is being able to create images like this, where you can have your own message on some sort of a visual board, right? Now, I've shown you a couple of style boards. These are new styles, right? So here's another version of that where you can kind of see me with but kind of, right? With the messaging on the board. And these are new that I've worked on for you. The original style was the big poster boards that you can have pretty much in different scenes. And we worked on these maybe about 2 weeks ago. Whether it's subtle and it's something that you're kind of like holding in your hand, or it's even bigger than that. I love these. I think these came out really cool. But I'm looking for, I did kind of a set where I was in different scenes. Did I scroll past them? I move very quickly. They might be further down, actually. Yeah, they are. So these are just different positions, but they're all messaging statements. A great idea is not an offer, right? And using the Authority Builder prompts, you can create these images, but one of the reasons why I love this particular prompt is for carousels, so that you can create a whole set of these in different angles and positions, right? So as you can see here, I'm standing up with one versus sitting down versus the ones where they're, holding it in one hand or having it over my head, different angles, right? By the way, I cannot tell you how many times I look at the sneakers that AI creates and go, man, I wish I had those. um, so we're going to work on some more authority images just to wrap up tonight, right? And then I'm going to have you go forth and work on your ebook apps. Unless you want us to work on the ebooks further together, or if you have questions about it, we can do like a mini co-working ebook creation session and hang out a little bit longer. But the next thing that I want to do is to show you some of these board graphics where you can hold up your messaging, especially if you're going to be writing some sort of an ebook, or you're going to be working on an article series. Creating graphic images to share your point of view is definitely something that I want you to do. So that is going to take me over to start here. Start here. I don't know why it took me a while to see that. On start here, you have access to pictures to post, free gift, and there is the pictures to post prompt. The one that you get is the Authority Builder prompt. Okay? And so you can copy this prompt and use it, and it does have that poster board feature. For more expanded versions of that, then you would need the Pro version. I'll show you the difference between the two, but I'm going to start off with this one, because this is the one that we've been using all week. I want to use the one that pretty much you all have access to. But I want to talk about using it in conjunction with this ebook project. So if you come up with an ebook and you're sharing your point of view on a particular topic, creating graphics that support that messaging is the final piece that I wanted to share with you today. So let's go to new chat. Pop that prompt in like so, like that. All right, so we're going to do a quick build. So it says, before we go further, which sounds like you? I'm ready. I already know exactly what I want. Fast lane, I already know what I want. What's the belief or point of view? So I'm going to cheat, and I'll tell you how. I'm going to go back to one of my other conversations. And I had said to it, give me a breakdown of my whole concept. I need the copy buttons. Oh, this is a long breakdown. Smart people shouldn't have to feel stupid creating content. This is something that I was working on, so I'm just going to use that. So, A, I'm ready. My point of view is in the message below. Now, it does say in one sentence, but you don't have to do that. you can give it what you got. Okay, so who needs to read this? That's in the info I just gave you. You're right. Do you want to lock the exact statement? Yes. What platform are you using? ChatGPT. Okay. So it says a statement scene. All this week, the images that I've been doing with you guys, we've been doing a lot of the lifestyle scenes. The statement scene is you're holding a sign with your belief, right? And so that's the one that I'm going to go with, A. Do you want to upload a reference photo? Yeah. And I had to take a bunch of pictures of Christopher today because he needs to get his college ID done. And we're going to orientation next week. And he's like, I hate all of these. I'm like, you're just so emotional, kid. Like, pick a picture and live with it. All right. So let's see. Upload reference photo. I'm going to go with A, natural and casual. I've been doing a lot of B this week. So for this statement card, how do you want it to be framed? I like the large poster cards overhead, so I'm going to go with C. I don't know. I just really like those. Do you want to describe the setting yourself? What can I say? Number one, I would say definitely want to have glasses on to have that kind of like geek chic look, geeky girl. Number one. Number two, I would love something where, I don't know why I'm thinking Apple Store, but like something that looks like very techy, like, I'm in a crowd of people who are on their phones maybe. Okay, maybe not an Apple Store. Maybe like the middle of like a busy city street, everybody's on their phones or something. Does that necessarily compute to smart people creating content? I mean, people create a lot of content on the street, so I don't know. I'm just thinking of a lot of people on their phones, like looking at content, thinking about creating things, and you can see me in the crowd holding up this big sign. That's what I'm thinking. It's not quite fleshed out, but you can make some sense of that. So if you don't know, you can say surprise me. But if you do have a vision, it can help you. I actually love where your brain is going because I think you're reaching for a visual metaphor rather than a literal scene. Smart people shouldn't have to feel stupid creating content. It feels almost like a peaceful protest, not an angry protest. More like someone finally saying the quiet part out loud. What do you want this to be? Square, portrait? I'm going to go with C. vertical. What accent color? Purple. So once this is created and it's locked, we will do a wrap-up of the goal for the next 2 days. And then this weekend, we're going to continue creating content even further. So we've got about 4 more days to rock out together as part of this experience. Remember, I do have an in-person event coming up in October, so let me know if you're interested in joining us for that. Number one, and number two, if you want to continue working with me tonight as part of this ebook, apps, and articles experience, let me know. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see me kind of build or work through, ask and ye shall receive. So just trying to charge. I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh, I have no charge. Charging all the things. Okay, I'm going to chat in just a second. All right, so single image. We're going to do a single image. But then you can do a carousel or a series of images once you lock in the one that you get, the first one, and you like it. So first it's going to give you text because you may be working in a platform that doesn't generate images like Claude. Claude doesn't just automatically help you create images. You can connect certain things to your Claude and build images within it, but that's an advanced step that I don't teach. But there are platforms like Gemini and ChatGPT where you can literally say, create the image, and it will. So hence why of these, I like Chat the most. When it comes to writing articles or just writing period, Claude is preferred. When it comes to micro videos and doing research, Gemini, especially Notebook LM, those are good for that. Each of them kind of have their own thing. I'm curious to see what this looks like. I'm excited, nervous, all the things. But these are just really solid content pieces for me so that I can intentionally use them to market these very specific things that I'm working on right now. Oh, wow. This is cool. Smart people shouldn't have to feel stupid creating content. This is very, very interesting. And you can kind of see the people on their phones. And then what's interesting also is that there are a couple of things I probably would change as far as making the crowd a little bit more diverse for my liking. I just seem to stand out as this random black woman in the crowd. But I do like it. It is what I asked for, right? And it stuck to me, so it looks like me in the face. You know, sometimes it can be a little off, but I think that it kind of gave me a visual that I was looking for, and I can keep going from there. I'm not going to tweak and refine. My goal was just to kind of show you that we are focused on your point of view, whether that be in images, your pictures, for your posts, right? Creating articles and also ebook apps, sharing your point of view and messaging. That's going to be our focus for the next 2 days. Any questions, any comments, anything you would like to share, drop into the chat or unmute yourself. Last call on that. Beyond working on ebooks, as I mentioned before, yesterday we did service packages and sales pages, and I'm going to aim to have all the replays up within the next day or two. Listen, I was up with y'all until close to 1 o'clock last night, so I've been rocking and rolling through lots of different things. We did also talk about creating work with me pages. And so the goal is that you can choose a revenue path. What that means is, do you want to focus on service packages this week? Do you want to create a new product this week, like a digital app in the form of an ebook this week? You can start simple. You can start now. Use the prompts and strategically work on these particular projects, not necessarily all of them, but that ones that feel right for you. So I decided to add the articles prompt because, again, I wanted you to be able to, outside of writing ebooks, write articles in addition to creating images, because we're working on not just you creating the content, but you strategically sharing that content online on the social media platforms that you choose. So, alrighty, my dears, as always, I thank you so much for joining me live and or on the replays side. Complete today's prompts, build your one revenue asset. Make sure that you are in the session tomorrow so that we can keep building with momentum. If you're in the academy, simply log in to access the resources there that I've shared with you. Remember, there are 2 levels of the Authority Builder prompt. There's the starter level that you guys get for free as part of the Position to Profit Challenge. Then there's a premium level, and that's exclusive to you guys in the academy. When you log into the academy, look for the Pictures to Post hub, and it's got 50 prompts in there, okay? So the full Pictures to Post hub, it's beefy. And you're going to see the pro version of the Authority Builder along with a ton of other prompts I've created to help you work on your pictures. Visual metaphor. I think I'm going to try this one. I'm going to do that one, the visual metaphor. Actually want to create a visual metaphor based on what we're talking about in this conversation, but I don't know what it should be. So quick build, and you surprise me. All right, so I'm going to do that as I wrap up with you guys. And I'll show you what my visual metaphor graphic looks like tomorrow if my old lady brain does not forget. But like I said, those of you who have access to the academy, you have the full Pictures to Post experience, and you can do a range of different style graphics in there. Any questions for me, feel free to send me a voice message, email me, flag me down in some way, and I got you, okay? As always, thank you so much for joining me live and or on the replay side. And now it's time for you to go forth and create your amazing. Until next time, take care. Mwah. Bye.